This is my audience.
The very clothes we have on today were once made by ancient processes that have now been refined into advanced technologies that we still use today. Hello, I'm Daniel Iraheta, here to talk to you about the cotton gin and its origins, production, and current influence today. So first, I'd like to talk about how the cotton gin works. So it is essentially a seed from fiber separation, because the cotton that we know today, like cotton balls and things like that, it isn't actually what derives from the plant itself. It's actually tiny microfibers that eventually will consist of cotton balls. So, but before that, it's hidden inside a seed, and seed separation usually requires force. So what the cotton gin does is it applies force to the seed, which then separates it into of course, the husk and the fiber. And then the fiber is then processed and then formed into whatever cotton products are necessary. And then the seed can either be reproduced into cotton oil or into a fiber with more advanced techniques. So as to the origin of the cotton gin, it actually derives from India, not from the United States as many people assume. So it is actually, a lot of historical documents say that it came from the 5th century, which is supported by Buddhist texts. And before, it actually involved a much more grueling process, and it was more akin to wheat production. So what happened was somebody would roll out the seeds to break it, of course, and then after, it would be about like a 6-person machine that would be operating a double roller system to then flatten out whatever fibers they can gather from the seed. So it was, of course, rugged and just not effective. So Eli Whitney, in the 1800s, he decided to take that idea and patent it into his own idea, which was the saw gin, which is what we currently think of when we think of like 1800s cotton production. So it was just a more refined version of the Indian one, where he took a roller and he rolled it through, but instead he added an additional roller to improve the speed at which the husk was broken, and also involved less people as the technology at the time was improving. But Eli Whitney's invention was still kind of rugged around the edges, so somebody named Florence McCarthy took his idea and decided to improve it by using horsepower instead of human power. So he took his cotton gin and decided to again use the horses, and horses they can work longer days and they usually require less maintenance. So his machines were a lot more effective, he got a lot more fibers out and a lot less corn husks, since the pressure that was applied broke it more evenly. But still, it was still rugged technology, and with the turn of the Industrial Revolution, something called the Munger system was created, where the cotton gin was now automated. So instead of being reliant on horsepower or human power or whatsoever, it was ran by machines and steam power. So that was much more effective in the long run, as all the technology, all the pistons that they use and things like that, they were a lot better at taking a lot more fiber out and eventually being able to repurpose that husk, which previously had no use or very little use, as back in the day you couldn't really do much with a husk. It was just something you tossed out, but now there was more reason to keep that around. So in conclusion, the cotton gin was a very important aspect of worldly culture, actually, because a lot of people before had to wear rags and whatever they could find, or pay very expensive fees to get the clothes that they wanted. But the cotton gin allowed for people of all classes to receive a wide variety of clothing, and improved the technological advancements that we have today. Thank you for listening.